Hi friends, it's back to school time, and I have a tool that I think is going to be quite helpful for you. You know, at the beginning of the year when you teach routines and you teach your expectations or your school rules and you practice them, and then go down and start your lessons in your regular curriculum, what happens to those routines if we don't continually practice them or continually bring them to the forefront with our students? Well, I have a tool that I think is going to be helpful for you in this situation. I've used it with primary students, preschool through second grade, and another set I've used for third grade through sixth grade. This tool are behavioral visual aids. It's very helpful for our students who are ELL and don't understand English, for our students who are visual learners, and for our students who are maybe have some other learning disability that prevents them from connecting with you or have some auditory issues. Perhaps your deaf students or hard of hearing students. So this is a tool that I think is going to be helpful for you. And I've created two sets, one for primary and one for intermediate. And at the end of this, I will link the where you can get these resources after the video. So you'll see those links and you can easily get them. So I want to show you briefly what I've got. Let's start with some that I know that are in both situations and can be used across the grades. What do we always want kids to do when we ask them a question? Raise their hand. So I've got one for primary. We raise our hands. And then the same for intermediate. We raise our hands. So you see that the graphics, and I usually laminate these or put them on tag board, but for today I just got this purpose here. So you see we got the same concept of raising our hands, but the visual is a little bit more beneficial to whatever grade you happen to be working with. Let's look at another set. Walking in the halls, walking in the classroom, walking on the playground in the right places. Here we have primary, we walk, and then I have intermediate, which is a little bit more so we walk in the building, because by this time hopefully they know where to walk on the playground, but you could always change this if you want to, or just say we walk everywhere if you'd like to change that too. But again, same messages, just two different images. How about another one? When we sit on the floor, we want kids to sit on the floor quietly. In preschool, we all come to the carpet and they're just a giggly gaggly bunch of munchkins. But sometimes we want them to sit quietly so they can hear the directions. So for primary, we sit quietly. And I have to say I want to thank mycutegraphics.com for these graphics. I love them. But we sit quietly. And then for our intermediate students, we sit on the floor. And I don't necessarily have to say quietly, but you can see the student is quiet, thinking, looking up at the speaker. This is the image we want. The mouth is closed. Eyes are forward, hands and feet are to themselves, so intermediate can benefit from this visual aid as much as the primary where we just sit quietly. Crisscross applesauce. Then let me show you some other ones that are different, but depending on the grade. In the primary grades, we might need to learn to say, I'm sorry. We might need to remember to be nice in our classroom. We are nice in our classroom. Or how about, let's see, how about sharing? Little kids have to learn to share, don't they? So we share. Then I have, actually I think I need to make this one for everyone, but I've got to find a graphic for my intermediate. When I find that, I'll update this. But we write our names. I want to put this on for my staff development. When I ask teachers to give me their exit ticket when they're leaving, I really want them to put their name on it, please, so I can know who needs more support. Thank you. Okay, moving on. What about some things in the classroom where some basic routines that are to help manage the classroom? We recycle. We get our lunches. Love this. Little first graders, we need to throw our garbage away, not leave it on the floor. The end of the day routines. We get our backpacks. Well, we just sit at the tables. We don't climb on the tables, boys and girls. We sit at the table. Oh, and everybody needs this one. We line up. Look how nice and neatly they're all lined up. All their body parts are to themselves. Yep, visual aid. And more. This is my office is right across the hall from the boys and girls bathroom. This is what I'm going to put up on the cabinet in front of it. We wash our hands. Yes, we do. This is for every grade, not just primary. All right, so I have all sorts of, we clean up, we use a quiet voice, we sit to eat. Maybe you need this in the lunchroom. We sit to eat. And we read books. During quiet reading time, we're reading the books. We're not up playing with blocks. We're not doing all sorts of other things. We read books. On and on. We stack our chairs. We wash our tables. We ride the bus. All sorts of different things that we can do. Now, for the older students, we work quietly at our desk. We're not talking to our neighbors. You're quietly working at your desk independently. We work in groups. I can use this with a lot of times with my ELL students, and they don't understand why are people are getting up out of their seat and moving around. Where are we going? Well, we're going to work in groups. I used to always have to say this to my 4th grade students. We look at the speaker. We look at the speaker. You notice I'm looking at the screen a lot. I'm looking at you now. I like this one. This one is very, very important. We ask questions and share ideas. I want the kids not only answer questions, but I really want them to share their ideas too. This is a community discussion possibly going on, and we really need you to share and not just sit there and zone out. And this is one I love. We look for things to learn. When kids say, this is boring, I don't want to do it, I don't know how, well, let's look for something to learn instead of checking out. So there's many more of these intermediate ones and the primary ones. I just don't have time to show them to all of you right now. But I want you to know that visual aids are really helpful. Sometimes I use these visual aids when I'm in the assembly and the kids are being quiet. I will take the cards that I think I'm probably going to most likely need. For instance, I have one that's right here. It says, we use a quiet voice. So if they're sitting and they're waiting for the assembly to start, and in your school they're allowed to talk, but quietly, then I can use this, saying we use a quiet voice. Okay, for if those of you are in PBIS, level 1 voice, possibly. So this is helpful in the library, in assemblies. It could be helpful when they're doing partner work. You could just walk around. You don't have to say a thing. That's beautiful about it. You just walk around and hold this. And they, great, silent cues, beautiful. Or if you are, you're going to go to the library, taking your kids to the library, and you need them to walk quietly, well, then you pick up the sign that says we walk quietly. Maybe we are kind. You could, if you are headed towards the playground, and they're again fussing and talking and everything, you just stop, turn around, and hold up your sign that says, we walk quietly. And if they're having an issue on the playground, how about this one? We play together. We don't isolate our friends. We play together. All sorts of ideas. Great for reminding them verbally and visually, for silent cues, or for those students who are still learning the English language or who have some auditory processing issues and language is hard for them to understand, just English, and they're an English speaker. These visual cues are beneficial for so many reasons, so many situations, so many classrooms. I hope you'll check them out. I hope that you will decide that I need these. These are really going to help me this year, because I believe it. I've used them myself and I love them. And I would love for you to use them too. So I'll link at the bottom of this to the products so that you can check them out and possibly purchase them for your own. And if there is something like an expectation that you would like to see in it that's not in there, shoot me an email at teachers.keeper@gmail.com and I'll see what I can do. I'll see if I can find some clip art and find some ways to incorporate that into the product, and you just will have that piece too. So give me a shoot out with that and let me know if I can help you in a way. And I really hope that you will find these beneficial and that you will, your kids will enjoy them. You know, maybe your kids can make up something themselves, but Have a great school year. Remember to teach those expectations and keep reiterating them throughout the year. I use these all year long, so they're not just for beginning of the school year. Have a great beginning. Bye.